My name is Elisa. I'm living a happy life with my husband and my 2 kids. I'm on the bus now, and we are going on vacation. I've been preparing for it for months because my husband works a lot and we don't travel often, so I'm very excited. My kids are singing songs, and my husband is holding my hand. In this moment, I feel very grateful to God because He gave me a good family. This was a blessing after a hard life. At some point, I was thinking my life would never get better. But my husband was my savior. I met him in my darkest days. When I was a kid, my father was molesting me, and I was afraid to tell my mother because he was always abusing me and hitting me hard to not tell anyone. My father was a monster in human form. Whenever my mother was on pills or sleeping, he came and touched me and kissed me. I couldn't tell her, and my mother was having a mental illness. She was taking some pills, her body was with us, but her brain was somewhere else. And when she talks, she calls different names and asks about different people like she is living somewhere else. I had no friends, and no one from our families came to visit us. And it was embarrassing to talk to someone at school. At the age of 15, I was sleeping, and like always, I knew my father would come, but this night was different. He came very drunk, and he entered my room. He took all of his clothes. I was screaming. He put his hands on my mouth. He looked at me with an angry look.
You destroyed my life. If you hadn't come into my life, I wouldn't be stuck with a crazy woman. If you were not here, I would leave her, start a new life, and make a great family. But you came, and now I must punish you.
He tore my clothes, and I was fighting, but he was stronger. I pushed him, and I went running. Then he pulled me from my hair, and while I was trying to escape from his hands, I fell on the stairs, and I couldn't stand up. He came and pulled me onto the floor by my hair, and he threw me on the sofa in front of my mother. He was hitting me hard, and I was crying and screaming. Then he wanted to rape me. I was screaming, "Mom, please help me." Then I fell unconscious after he slapped me hard. I woke up and found so much blood on me. I looked next to the sofa, and I found my father and my mother both dead, and the blood was everywhere because of the shock. I went outside naked, covered in blood, running outside, and when the neighbors saw me, they called the police. The police took me to the hospital, and they said I got raped and I have some broken bones. I stayed 2 weeks in the hospital, and I was in shock. I couldn't ask them who killed my parents. On my last day, they said I would go to an orphanage, and there I would have people to help me, psychologists and social professionals, to help me open up to the world, and maybe I would find a new family. Then I saw one policeman, and I asked him who killed my parents, and he said, "Your mother stabbed your father when she saw him raping you, then he killed her. She fought for you, but your father was stronger." I couldn't understand my feelings. This is the first time she has done something for me. She doesn't recognize me, but she sacrificed her life to save me. This is the first time I feel that my life matters and that someone really cares about me. I went to the orphanage, and like they told me, I found good people. They helped me move on in my life, and after a few months, a family came and adopted me. They were an old couple called Marilyn and Matthew. They already had their own kids, but all went far, some got married, and some went to make a life somewhere else. But the old couple wanted someone mature to talk to and care about like a daughter, and they chose me. They were treating me like a real daughter. They gave me everything: love, home, and warmth. We were going to the cinema and watching films together. We were a real family. And there I met a handsome boy named Antoine. He was in the same neighborhood. I fell for him at the first hello, but I was shy about talking to him. But my new mom was very sweet. She made a birthday party for me and invited many people from our neighborhood, and of course Antoine came too. He talked to me, and we felt very comfortable talking, and we felt chemistry between us. We felt very close. After 2 months of being friends, Antoine made the first move and said he wanted me to be his girlfriend, and I accepted. From that day on, I forgot my past and saw only happiness. We went together to the university, and my new parents paid for everything. They were like angels, giving me all my wishes. But there was one condition: to study in the same city and keep living with them, which I accepted because I didn't want to go away. In my third year at the university, my parents were killed in an accident, and it was hard for me to live without them. All their kids came, and they read their will, and they gave each kid something, and they gave me the house. They said in their will they didn't want me to struggle to find a home. I was in depression for days. Then Antoine decided to do something for me to make me feel good, and he decided to ask me to marry him and build our family. I felt very happy and I accepted, and with time, my smile returned to me, and I wanted to honor the life and the chance my new parents gave me. I'm very happy. I can't describe my feelings. The bad days went away, and I'm only living in happiness. Oh my God, what is happening? The bus couldn't stop, the driver lost control, and I was screaming. I hugged my kids. I closed my eyes, and I asked them to close their eyes too. Then nothing happened. I opened my eyes, and I found myself in another place, and my husband and my kids were not with me. I found another man sitting next to me, and I said to him, "Who are you? Where are my husband and my kids?" He looked at me and said,
"Finally, you spoke. I'm Antoine, your nurse, and you are not married and you don't have kids."
I said, "What?" "I'm Elisa. I was with my family. We are going on vacation. Bring me my family back, please." Then he said to another man, "Call for Marilyn and Matthew. I think our patient is awake now, and she will ask questions. I can't do anything alone." Then I looked around me. I'm sitting in a chair in a garden in a hospital somewhere, and I told him what happened to me. Then I saw my new parents, and I said to them, "You are not dead." I'm very happy to see my parents here with me again.
We are not your parents, I'm your psychologist, and Marilyn is your social assistant. We didn't come to see you for years because you refused to talk, you refused to see reality, and you weren't responding to the medicines. Then we decided to leave you with Antoine to take care of you, and when your brain decides to wake up, we will help you.
I was crying. My happy life was just a dream. I think I'm the same as my mom, a crazy woman living on medicine. Marilyn came to me, and she said,
"Do you remember what happened that night with your father when he raped you?"
Suddenly, my brain went to the past, and I saw myself under his body. He was kissing me and scratching my body with his nails. He was hurting me. My mother was there, looking at us. He raped me. He spit on my face. He said I'm just a dirty human being, and I don't deserve anything. I saw a knife on the table. He always uses it to eat fruits. I took it and stabbed him, and I stabbed my mother too. I killed him because he made my life hell, and I killed her because she brought me to hell. She never cared to fight in this life, to stay with me. I was an innocent child with crazy parents who only thought about themselves, a father who wanted to satisfy his sexual needs, and a mother who wanted to run from reality and live inside her brain, leaving me alone as easy prey for any hungry wolf. I told them everything, and when I looked into their eyes, I saw so much pity. They were crying, and this was the first time in real life I saw someone feel mercy on me. I know now why I decided to put them in my imagined story. They were always with me, helping me. The doctor said to me,
Are you wanting to fight life and show others that you are a survivor? Or you want to give up, like your mother, and live in an imaginary world?
Be sure we are all here to help you and walk with you through your hard circumstances, and we will all support you to the end.
After many years being your nurse, I honestly feel you as a family, and seeing you awake and talking to us made me very happy.
I decided to fight for my life and make it happy in reality, and it doesn't mean that because I had horrible parents, life is bad. I want to be happy and live my life to the fullest. From that day on, my life started blooming, and I felt in control. Like I imagined before, after 3 years, Antoine and I decided to marry and live together after a long journey of sickness, failures, and ups and downs. My life now looks stable and happier. I'm grateful. Stand up for yourself, fight for your life, leave the past in the past, look up to the future, and try your best. You will see how life will reward you.